All right, question number one. Let's start off with our 25,000 people watching us currently. Number one is on TV. SpongeBob's best friend Patrick is what type of sea creature? A whale, a starfish, a crab.
Oh, who lives in a pineapple under the sea? Absorbent and yellow and porous is he.
Whatever kind of sea creature Patrick is, he sure is a dumb one. Now, it's nice he and SpongeBob were neighbors and found each other so he can help him through all of his antics. The starfish, that is. That's what he is. Now, throughout the series, Patrick Star, like Ringo, has been a chum bucket fry cook, Krusty Krab advisor, inventor, hero, spy agent, nurse, doctor, and a king of Bikini Bottom. It's quite an impressive CV, my friend. Question 2. Which of the following is not traditionally present in wine? Alcohol, hops, grapes. What's going on, Fitbit Queen? Gets a shout out from Georgia. Now, speaking of Fitbit, if you have just alcohol, no grapes, you got yourself a spirit, like gin or vodka. If you've got grapes and no alcohol, you've got grapes. But if you can have a glass of wine without hops, you're just drinking wine, my friend. Now, hops are used primarily as a bittering, flavoring, and stability agent in beer, to which they add bitterness as well as a floral, fruity, or citrusy flavors and aromas. It's good, delicious stuff. That's why they add it. Question 3. What type of animal is cartoon character Curious George? Cat, monkey, kangaroo. Fascinating story of how it came to be, written by the team of Hans Augusto Rey and Margaret Rey. The couple fled Nazi-occupied Paris in June 1940 on, get this, self-made bicycles. They were carrying the Curious George manuscript with them, full of stories about a particularly precocious monkey, you should know this. Unfortunately, while real monkeys are certainly curious, they're not as friendly as George, as I discovered during my trip to Guatemala. Yes, don't feed the animals. All right, question 4, I'm going to give you some more. Here we are. What president was the teddy bear named after? Abraham Lincoln, George Washington, Theodore Roosevelt. Now, we talked about this before the show, so instead of boring you with a factoid for this obvious answer, let me instead give you a serenade with a little something I put together. Theodore Roosevelt! Now, it's inspired by the famous incident, true story, where the president spared a bear while hunting, and the inventor of the toy bear sent President Roosevelt one of the stuffed dolls and requested permission to call them teddy bears. And then the rest is history. All right, question number 5. Let's hope you stayed alive. This is the last before we get to the prize questions. What strange material was Lady Gaga's dress at the 2010 MTV Video Music Awards made out of? Raw meat, peacock feathers, newspapers. This is not like the others. When she appeared on the Ellen DeGeneres show, Ellen gave her a bikini made of vegetables? What? Do we have a picture of that? A vegetable dress? Ah, I think I know why she did this. This was in response to her dress made of raw meat. Yes, indeed, raw meat. Now, Lady Gaga said that the dress was a statement about the need to fight for what you believe in and highlighted her distaste for the U.S. military's don't ask, don't tell policy. Glad to have that explained to all of us, but somehow I still have so many questions. And you have questions, prize questions, that is... Prizes are divided by the number of you that get it right. Penny or let's just roll over to the next question. Even if you were knocked out, please stay with us for Lucky Spin. Question number 6 in the mix is worth $150, and it is, what does the cooking phrase julienne refer to? Cutting into thin strips, mashing into a paste, cutting into cubes. Maybe Lady Gaga had whatever butcher slash seamstress slash tailor or whoever worked on her dress to have the meat cut julienne or julienne, which is French for cutting into thin strips. The cut julienne is usually used in regards to fruits and vegetables, is often called matchsticking for the long, thin, uniform cuts that the term refers to. Probably learned that in one of those cooking shows. Nothing come to mind at the moment. I don't have cable. Question number 7. Which actor has not received a Presidential Medal of Freedom? Robert De Niro, Meryl Streep, Clint Eastwood. Now, we do know that former President Obama is a fan of at least one of these actors, since in 2014 he was quoted saying, I love Meryl Streep. Her husband knows I love her. Michelle knows I love her. And there's nothing they can do about it. Except for Clint Eastwood, who couldn't do nothing. He has not received one as of yet. Oh, and could it be? Is it she, Comfort Kitty? Here to comfort you on that difficult question that knocked the majority of you out, but take solace in knowing that you have an extra life. Thank you. Question 8. This one's worth $150 again. Which of his movies did Jean-Pierre Jeunet not accuse The Shape of Water of plagiarizing? The City of Lost Children, Delicatessen, Amélie. Question sounds like something that would come from the mouth of some dorky USC film undergrad while sipping a very pale beer at his gang's favorite grill and bar. The answer, just to be clear, The City of Lost Children. The French director claims a scene was directly copied from the 1991 movie Delicatessen, and that some of the movie's settings and characterizations were similar to those in his movie Amélie. I don't remember a hot fish monster in either of those, but okay, sir. Question 9. The actinide group of the periodic table contains how many elements? 6, 15, 37. And that is all I will say about this question. The actinide series is taking you back to junior high. This is the third group of the periodic table and contains elements with atomic numbers 89 to 103. So in total there are, hope you guessed it, 15. All actinides are radioactive metallic elements, but only 2 are naturally occurring: thorium and one of those most very famous elements, uranium. Uranium, that is. Question 10. This one is worth $300. We got 3,252 cash kids still in it to win it. Here we go. Which Byzantine emperor instituted the Protomesis system? Romanus I, Basil II, Leo VI. The Protomesis system, Protomesis, however you'd like to pronounce it, was one of several efforts by this emperor starting in 1922 CE to protect peasants from having their land taken or bought by the aristocracy. That was Romanus I. That sounds a lot like the feudal lord system, where you have to pay protection money to protect you from other feudal lords. And speaking of feudal lords, this has nothing to do with it, but it knocked most of you out. Here you go, kitty. All right. If you wonder why we use that, you're new to the show, hit me up on Twitter, I'll explain it. It's a long, long story. It was an accident. Question 11 is worth $450. And here we go, the last one before we go on to the final question. Which of these jets is the X-Men's X-Jet based on? F-16, Raptor, SR-71. Now this plane, the entire series, it's been destroyed, rebuilt numerous times in the course of the team's many adventures, and it was based on the famed SR-71 Blackwing. But forget the sound barrier. We've got 1,226 cash kids breaking the question 11 barrier. Who's going on for all 12 tonight? Let's find out without further ado. On to our last and final round. Feeling good, feeling spicy, feeling like Ali 91, who says Bo is low key my favorite. Low key. Oh yeah, from like Thor. That's good. Okay. Question 12. This one is worth $1,552. We only have 1,226 still in it. Only, well, relatively speaking. Question 12 is, the 2006 song Hate Me by the rock band Blue October is a single from what album? Foiled, Covered, Shield. Now, Hate Me was in the top 5 of the modern rock chart for 20 straight weeks until it was passed by both Pearl Jam? Yes, and the Red Hot Chili Peppers. So, I guess you could say that yes, indeed, they were foiled, Mr. Bond. Yes. But tonight, you know, we have got 1,027 cash kids that were not foiled at all, taking home more than bragging rights. They're taking home cash, baby. Let's check out that prize distribution. This is how, you guys know how this works. It breaks down how much each one of their questions was worth. I'm saying, hey, to Aces, 49.89, you rolled up sleeves. You look like Miami Vice. Thank you. That's exactly what I was going for. Here's our winners list. 1,027 taking home $2.21. That on